El Pluscuamperfecto. The Pluscuamperfecto is a fun word that is the Spanish for a silly word in English. Pluperfect. This is an English word that means past perfect in both languages. Pluscuamperfecto, pluperfect means the past perfect. The present perfect is used to say what someone has done. So the past perfect, otherwise known as the pluperfect, and in Spanish el pluscuamperfecto, is used to say what someone had done. It also is a perfect tense, past perfect, and like all perfect tenses, it's compound. Like the present perfect has two parts. You say what someone has done, a present tense form of haber plus past participle. This does too. So the past perfect is used to say what someone had done or had not done, and what had happened or had not happened, usually in reference to another past action. For a crazy example, like I got mad because I had already mopped the floor when he spilled the milk. So when he spilled the milk, that's done and over with. I got mad because I had already mopped the floor. Alright, so let's find out how to form it. Just like the present perfect, we use a conjugated form of haber plus past participle. But for this one, we need a past tense of haber, so we're going to use the imperfect. We use the imperfect of haber plus the past participle. Remember, when you are using the past participle, not as an adjective, it will always end in the letter O. So to form a past participle, you take off the AR and add ado. And you take off the ER-IR and add ito. And don't forget to be aware of all of those irregular things that we know, like verbs like leer take an accent on the I in ito. So if there's a vowel before ito, the I gets an accent. And we know all of those irregulars like dicho, hecho, escrito, frito, and stuff like that, and that compounds of those to be aware of as well. So we just need to make sure that we know how to conjugate haber in the imperfect, which is total review and totally easy because in the imperfect, there aren't any stem changers, there aren't any irregular yos, and there are only three irregulars, which are ir, ser, and ver. So haber is totally 100% normal. Endings for normal verbs for AR in the imperfect are aba, abas, aba, and the endings for ER, IR verbs are ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, ian. Accents on all of the first I's. I say first I because the vosotros has two, and the accent goes on the first I. Did not mean to erase the box that was around this, because it's really important to have the box around this formula because it will never be separated. You won't put no in between it, you won't put pronouns in between it. That box is important because you don't separate them, just like you don't with the present perfect. Let's try some examples. Like, hadn't you done the homework? Well, I'm going to need the yo form, the tu form of había, and I would get no habías hecho la tarea tú, because where do subjects go in questions? At the end, or at least after the verb, so tú could go where that star is, or there, and of course you don't need it if it's habías because it can only be you. Hacer has an irregular past participle, which is hecho, and if you want no, it's going to go before the verb phrase. And if you wanted to answer this and say, yes, I had done it, sí. Yo is so much more important in the imperfect than in any other tense because the yo and the he, she are the same. So that yo isn't necessary here because I said, hadn't you done the homework? The person answering would be I. La había hecho. La, referring to tarea, would have to go before the conjugated form of haber because I can't split them up, and pronoun placement rules say that it has to go before the conjugated form of the verb. Alright, so it's your turn to try. You gotta earn some of these easy points for notes. So I would like you to try to say, no, I hadn't done it. So you're just doing the negative version of this sentence here. Yes, I had done it. I would like you to include yo where it would go and give it a try. Moving on, so wherever I have black boxes left at the end of these notes, you need to have filled in the information to get credit for them. at least with a try, and if you're wrong, we'll grade it when we go through them in class. What else do we need to know? Well, just like the present perfect, it's sometimes used with alguna vez to say ever. Had you ever gone to prom? Alguna vez in this question would go at the end, and we would need the correct conjugate form of haber plus the past participle of ir, which is totally normal. You take off the ir and add ido, so what are you left with? And I would also like you to put the subject pronoun for tu where it would belong in this question. And just like a lot of people doubt themselves on their past participle of ir, and don't forget ser is sido, we have that in our other notes. So a lot of times people doubt themselves when it comes to the past participle of dar. So right here, I would just like you to follow the rules. Take off the ar and add ado and write the past participle of dar. Just like the present perfect, the pluscuamperfecto is sometimes used with todavía no to say what someone still hadn't done or what hadn't been done yet. Like, I still hadn't read the book when I saw the movie. And let's see, I'm going to give you a little bit of this one as well and ask you to fill in the rest on your own. So the start of this sentence would be yo todavía no. Alright, so hadn't read, conjugate haber in the imperfect yo form, and then the past participle of leer, and then the book, when. I saw, what verb is to see or watch? We want it in the preterite here because it's done and over with. I saw the movie. If you don't remember movie, it is la película, accent on the I. There's another way to phrase this. You can move the todavía no around, so we'll fill that one in together in class, but leave room for it. And just like the present perfect, the past perfect, pluperfect, pluscuamperfecto, whatever you want to call it, is sometimes used with ya to say what had already happened. Or not. So this had already happened. So this and these have T's, that and those don't. And this is referring to an event. So we need that neuter form or neutral form of this, and then had happened. If you're saying it had happened, what form of haber would you want? And then you're going to say happened. Use the vocab for to happen, not pasar. We know pasar can mean to pass, spend, or happen, but we've got a vocab word that means to happen. I would like to see the past participle of that. And yeah, don't forget, don't separate had and happened one from another. Last but not least, one of the things that your book wants you to be able to do is to distinguish between when you would want to use the present perfect to say what someone has done and the past perfect to say what someone had done. So it's common sense, but think about it. It depends on what you want to say. If you want to say has done, present perfect. If you want to say had done, past perfect. But here's an example from the book. Observe the difference between the present perfect and the past perfect. El artículo dice que el festival ha empezado. So we've got the present tense with the present perfect. That makes sense. The present will match up with the present perfect a lot of the time. If artículo means what you think it would mean, article, and festival is the same in English and in Spanish, please translate that sentence where that black bar is. Don't forget, for full credit for your notes, you need to translate and complete any of the stuff left in black. And here is our past perfect example sentence that shows that the past perfect is often used with the preterite. And go ahead and translate this sentence. If ganar means to earn or win, in this case it means to win, there must have been some sort of contest at the festival. Who knows what this article is talking about. But please translate what it says here. If you have questions, bring them with you to class. Good job on your notes. Thank you for your time.